Greetings, friend of karmic affinity. Have you ever felt like your life is a small boat tossing in an endless storm? The pressures of work, the worries over daily bread, and the wounds within relationships. It all swirls around, leaving you feeling exhausted and lost. We often rush to find peace externally, through distant trips or noisy entertainment. But the more we search, the larger the inner emptiness seems to grow. But my dear friend, peace is not a distant destination at the end of the horizon. It is a state of mind that you can cultivate with your own hands. More than 2,500 years ago, the Buddha did not only teach about liberation from suffering in the next life. He also left behind the most practical and miraculous psychological methods for humans to find balance amidst a volatile world. Today, let us sit back, take a deep breath, let go of every burden, and discover the 10 golden principles from Buddhist wisdom. These are not dry, dogmatic theories, but 10 universal keys to help you open the door of serenity so that no matter how great the storm outside, your mind remains steady and silent like a high mountain. Principle 1. The sacred pause. My dear friend, most of the stress and regret in life comes from reacting too quickly. When someone says something harsh, we immediately strike back. When an unfavorable event occurs, we immediately flare up in anger. We allow external circumstances to pull our strings like unconscious puppets. But the Buddha taught that between an event and your reaction, there always exists a space. That is where freedom resides. The first principle to finding peace is to master that silence. Next time, before anger explodes or anxiety sweeps you away, practice the habit of pausing for 3 seconds. Take a deep breath. This brief pause is the ultimate power that helps you shift from reacting by instinct to responding with wisdom. Remember, you do not need to catch every stone others throw at you. You have the right to pause and let it fall to the ground. Principle 2. Accepting the law of impermanence. When the mind has found a quiet pause, you will easily recognize the second principle, impermanence. My dear friend, we often suffer because we want good things to stay forever and bad things to never happen. But life is like a river, always flowing and changing constantly. Spring comes and goes, flowers bloom and fade, emotions of joy or sorrow are born and then pass away. Suffering does not come from change, but from our resistance to that change. When you understand that impermanence is the nature of life, you will stop clinging to the past and worry less about the future. Learn to go with the flow, cherish what you have in this moment, and be ready to let go gently when things change. Accepting impermanence is finding eternity within the soul. Principle 3. Letting go of the illusion of control. From the acceptance of impermanence, we move to the third principle, a powerful antidote to modern anxiety, letting go of the illusion of control. My dear friend, most of our exhaustion comes from trying to steer things that are not within our jurisdiction, such as the weather, traffic jams, or the thoughts of others. We want to bend the flow of life to our own script. The Buddha taught about equanimity, upekkha, which is clear and balanced wisdom. Learn to distinguish clearly. You can only master your actions and attitudes. The results depend on thousands of other karmic conditions of the universe. Do your best with a full heart. Then step back and let life operate on its own. When you let go of the steering wheel of forced control, you do not lose power. You are reclaiming true leisure and freedom. Principle 4. Living fully in the present moment, mindfulness. The fourth principle brings us back to the only home where life is actually happening, Mindfulness. My dear friend, we are often present everywhere in our thoughts, from the past to the future, but absent from our own lives. Mindfulness is not a high-level technique, but a gentle return to connect deeply with the present. When you drink a cup of tea, please do not drink it along with work worries. Just drink the tea. Feel the warmth in your hands and the subtle fragrance. When you look at a loved one, look at them fully with your whole heart, as if it were the first and last time. Living fully in every small moment is the only way for anxiety to lose its foothold, and peace will automatically fill your soul. Principle 5. Compassion is strength. From awakening, we reach the fifth principle, the one carrying the deepest healing power for heart wounds: compassion. My dear friend, when someone treats you poorly or hurts you, the natural reflex is to resent them, but try for once to look deep into their pain. The Buddha taught that a happy person never goes about harming others. Only those carrying bleeding wounds, fears, and extreme insecurity feel the need to attack others for relief. Their prickly actions are the clumsy cries for help of a suffering soul. Compassion is not weakness or submissiveness, but a great inner strength that protects you from being poisoned by negative energy. When you choose pity over hatred, you are personally cutting the chains of resentment to return freedom to yourself. Principle 6. Lighting the mind with gratitude. The sixth principle is the most powerful antidote to a negative mind: gratitude. My dear friend, the human mind tends to cling to shortcomings and the cracks of life while forgetting the beauty that exists. That sense of lack is darkness, and gratitude is the switch to turn on the light. Science and spirituality meet at one point. You cannot be anxious and grateful at the same time. Turn gratitude into a sacred ritual every night before bed. Do not look for distant, great things. Find 3 tiny things that made you smile during the day, like a warm cup of tea, a ray of sunshine, or the smile of a loved one. When you fall asleep with a heart full of appreciation, you are sowing the most peaceful seeds for tomorrow. Principle 7. Living simply for a free mind. From gratitude, we naturally step into the 7th principle: simplicity. My dear friend, we often mistakenly think that having more will make us happier. But the Buddha taught that the root of disorder often lies in taking on too much. A cluttered room makes the mind suffocated, and a life of too many material desires exhausts the soul. Practice living simply. Get rid of one unnecessary item, cut down on useless information, and let go of social relationships that tire you. When external life becomes minimalist, the space inside your mind will automatically open up, becoming airy and strangely peaceful. Simple living is not deprivation. It is the pinnacle of freedom to focus on what truly matters. Principle 8. Selecting an environment that nourishes the soul. We continue with the 8th principle: an external factor that determines the success or failure of internal peace: the environment. Imagine your mind as a precious seed. No matter how good the seed is, if it is sown in barren land full of rocks and toxic weeds, it can hardly sprout healthily. Energy is highly contagious. If you are constantly around people who complain, criticize, and are negative, your lamp of peace will easily be blown out by the wind. The Buddha always advised us to be close to kalyana mittata, or virtuous friends. Actively filter the people you associate with and the places you visit. Surround yourself with healthy energy sources, people who know how to listen and uplift your soul. A good environment is the purest water source to nourish the seeds of serenity within you, to rise strongly every day. Principle 9. Transforming problems into teachers. The ninth principle is a beautiful art of living that helps you stand firm against any storm. Consider every problem a teacher. My dear friend, when adversity strikes, our natural reflex is to resent and ask, "Why me? Why is life so unfair?" But it is precisely that victim mentality that drains your strength. Instead of drowning in why, try to change your perspective and ask yourself, what lesson has this challenge come to teach me? Perhaps delay teaches you patience, loss teaches you how to let go, and the person who hurts you teaches you about tolerance. The lotus is born from the mud. When you view difficulties as opportunities to refine your soul, you transform every obstacle into solid steps to reach a new level of wisdom and maturity. Principle 10. Meditation is exercise for the mind. And finally, the 10th principle. The most precious gem that connects all the above principles together. Meditation. My dear friend, perhaps you have heard much about meditation, but still hesitate, thinking it is a high-level method requiring sitting motionless for hours in solemnity. But please set that pressure down. View meditation simply as an exercise for the mind, just as you exercise for the body. If the body needs movement to be flexible, the mind needs stillness to become clear and strong. The secret of meditation lies not in length, but in regularity. You do not need to try to sit for an hour right from the start. Just 5 minutes a day, but 5 complete and quality minutes dedicated to yourself. 5 minutes to sit still, close your eyes, observe the breath coming in and out, and let go of all stray thoughts. Turn that short time into a peaceful oasis amidst the busy desert of daily life. When you persistently return to your breath every day, even just a little, you are quietly cultivating a profound inner strength. It is that accumulated power of silence that will be the sturdiest support, helping you stand firm and serene before any sudden emotional storm in life. Changing consciousness to change life. My dear friend, after going through those 10 golden principles, let us together summarize the most core truth. We often cannot change what life throws at us, but we can completely change how we receive it. Imagine this practical example to see the power of the mind. 2 people receive news that they have lost their jobs on the same morning. The first person immediately falls into panic, blaming the unfair company and sinking deep into fear of the future, turning the following days into a living hell of torment. But the second person, after a moment of shock, chooses to breathe deeply, accepts the truth, and views this as an opportunity to rest, regenerate energy, and search for a new path more suited to their passion. The event of losing a job is identical, but their life realities are worlds apart. This proves that suffering or happiness does not lie in external circumstances, but entirely in the attitude of consciousness. Buddhism does not promise to bring you a life without storms, but gives you the ability to walk through the storm without getting your clothes wet. When you change your mind, the world around you will automatically change accordingly. That is the greatest power of freedom that no one can take from you. A daily schedule to nourish a peaceful mind to help you easily bring these 10 principles into life. I suggest a simple practice schedule to nourish the soul from morning to night. Begin your day with a moment of stillness as soon as you open your eyes. Do not rush out of bed. Place your hand on your heart, smile, and be silently grateful that you are still alive to welcome a new day. Set a wholesome intention. Today I will choose peace instead of haste. Throughout the long day, amidst the busyness of work, remember to give yourself sacred pauses. Whenever stress arrives, return to the breath. Practice seeing difficulties as lessons and treat those around you with the eyes of compassion. And finally, when night falls, practice the ritual of letting go before sleep. Do not bring today's trash and worries into your dreams. Forgive the imperfections. Recall 3 small joys to be grateful for, and allow the mind to rest completely. When you turn these small actions into a way of life, balance will automatically return to you in the most natural way. My dear friend, before closing today's journey, I want to give you one final image to anchor your soul during unstable times. Imagine your life is like a vast and deep ocean. On the surface, waves may rise and storms may roar fiercely. Those are the unavoidable fluctuations of emotions and external circumstances. But please look deep down to the bottom of the ocean. No matter how the surface water surges, at the deepest layer, the water is always still, calm, and absolutely peaceful. Your mind is exactly like that ocean. Do not be quick to identify yourself with the temporary emotional waves on the surface. Learn to abide in the inner depths where eternal peace always resides. Remember that you are not the storm. You are the vast ocean embracing that storm. If today's sharings bring you a little warmth and relief, please sow a wholesome seed by pressing the like and subscribe buttons so that we can continue to accompany each other on the path of awakening. Leave a comment sharing your feelings as a way to spread peaceful energy to the community. May you always be as steady as a mountain and as leisurely as the clouds in the sky. Goodbye and see you in the next videos. Would you like me to provide a simplified checklist of these 10 principles for your daily practice?